Hey guys, my name is Christian Ostmo, and I'm going to talk to you about something that is quite important to me. I get these questions a lot, and I've actually gotten this one, I don't know, a dozen times probably. And so I just wanted to address it in a video. I did it in a blog post because I'm trying to, write more, but I think a video is a bit more impactful as well. Let me go ahead and read the message that I got real quick. Say, hi, I'm blank, I'm not going to tell you the name. Looking through your amazing Instagram, which, thank you by the way, I wanted to ask you something. Here's the question. Do you intend to take your daughter to travel with you? Do you think it's worth it or even possible? Because I'm planning on having a baby, but I'm worried that after I won't find any ways or money to travel anymore. My dream is to travel the world for at least 1 year. I feel like I'm late for both having a kid and traveling. I don't know what to do. And then he said, haha, but I imagine that's kind of a nervous haha. I just have to tell you that if you're thinking about traveling, or if you're thinking about having a kid, they're both really spectacular, really special. I mean, there's nothing more special than having a child. And traveling is just an incredible experience, especially traveling to, more like developing countries and seeing like a different way of life. Obviously, traveling from the United States to England there's not a huge difference. I mean, there are some differences, but it's not like a huge thing. But when you travel, into South America and in Southeast Asia, and it's just sometimes, I mean, the language in itself, just having a different language is another experience, but having totally different ways of life, people living in different ways. So for any of you guys like thinking about having a kid but worried about that, stopping your traveling, don't. Because here's the thing, it all depends on what you want to do. What is your vision for your life, for your kids' lives, etc.? I wanted to be in the action. I want travel and multiculturalism and love just like sewn into every fiber of her DNA. That's so important to me, and that is my vision, not just for my life and my life with my wife, but it's extremely important for my kids as well. Not because I want to travel, but because I think that this traveling in general is just really important for education. I want my daughter to play with kids in, Argentina, and I want my daughter to get educated in South Africa, and I want my daughter to learn to dance in Nigeria and learn salsa in Cuba, for example. I want to teach her that this world that we live in is shared with so many different types of people who all have things to teach us. That is my mission for my daughter. It's not just about traveling, and it's not just about having kids, and it's not just about how they can coexist together. My daughter's not just a tag-along. My vision is that my daughter gets to know the entire world as a whole, the human race. I want to teach her that love always conquers hate, and that she can always, she doesn't have to be afraid of anything or anyone. Some people ask me, is it difficult having a child and traveling? And my daughter is only 9.5 months old, so I don't have a whole lot of experience, but we have traveled around to a few different countries, and I have to tell you, it does get more difficult. It's not an easy thing to do, but the thing is it's not impossible. It's not even like that difficult, whatever that means. You might need to, you might not go out drinking all night like you would if you were partying with in Koh Phi Phi or something like that. But if you are just, a normal traveler and you're thinking like, how am I going to manage my daughter? How am I going to manage my kids? Don't think about it. Don't think so much about it. I mean, obviously prepare, but the thing is that if this is your vision, if this is what you want to do, if this is what you want for your kids, for yourself, for your life, just go. And the thing is that you're always going to figure it out later, always. And the fact of the matter is that there's not been one story in your life worth telling that did not involve some big challenge. I mean, think about the stories that you tell people every day. You're talking about how you overcame, I don't know, if you got a degree, you overcame your degree. If you got lost on a mountain, you overcame dehydration and starvation. If you got mugged or something like that, you overcame the fear that goes along with it. Every story you've ever told has had some great challenge. And so anything worth doing, anything worth telling people about is going to be part of your story, for starters, and secondly is going to be challenging. And so invite that challenge, embrace it if that's what you want to do. To answer your question, asking if you're late to the party, to having kids, or to be traveling is like asking, you know, do my business cards have to be rectangle? No, of course not. I mean, it's ridiculous. Someone telling you that you are too late in having a kid, or that you have to travel for a year at 19 and no later. I don't know how old you are, but it's just ridiculous. It's like saying you're too tall to start a business, for example. Just utterly ridiculous, obviously. You know, what does height have to do with a business? Everybody has their own path, and you have to follow yours. You have to take your vision, and you have to take the next step, then take the next step, then take the next step. You can't be so scared of something that's going to happen 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years down the road that it paralyzes you from acting right now. Because the thing is that if you think of all the steps that you have in your look on how you want your life to be, it's always going to look impossible if you're looking at every little detail along the way. It's always going to look difficult if you are managing how you're going to make everything happen. The best advice that I could ever give you is just to take the next step, take the next step, take the next step, and figure it out. Entrepreneurs always say that if they knew what it was going to take to build that business or to make that project become a reality, they never would have done it. And the reason is because there are so many details, there's so much to consider that it just becomes overwhelming. And so if you plan every little detail, it's just going to be too difficult a task for your mind to overcome. That doesn't mean it's going to be too difficult for you to overcome, just your mind. And so what you have to do is you have to take the next step, take the next step, take the next step, and figure it out as you go. So I hope this has been really informative. This is what Deborah and I are going to be doing. We have been traveling a little bit. We've got some more kind of developing countries trip planned out coming soon. Hopefully we'll be sharing those with you guys. But I mean, that's how we intend to take, Maliah's entire childhood. We want her to have those experiences. It's very important to us that she has those experiences. That's our vision, and we're going to figure it out. So if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe below, and I guess I'll see you on the next video.